Isabella Sinclair is a woman who carries her past like an invisible cloak, one that shields her from the world while simultaneously weighing her down. Born into a family of old money and high expectations, she grew up in the shadow of Ravenwood Manor, a sprawling estate shrouded in mystery and whispers of dark secrets. From a young age, Isabella was groomed to be the epitome of grace and sophistication. Her parents, Lord and Lady Sinclair, were prominent figures in their secluded town, known for their charitable endeavors and impeccable social standing. However, behind the polished exterior of their lives lay a household steeped in emotional coldness and hidden turmoil. Isabella's childhood was marked by a series of tutors and governesses, each more strict and unyielding than the last. The manor, with its vast halls and echoing chambers, often felt more like a gilded cage than a home. It was within these walls that Isabella developed her resilience and independence, learning to rely on herself in the absence of parental warmth. As Isabella grew older, she experienced her first taste of love, a forbidden romance with a stable boy named Jacob. He was kind, attentive, and everything she craved in her emotionally barren life. Their secret meetings in the old stables were her escape from the oppressive expectations of her family. But when their relationship was discovered, the consequences were swift and severe. Jacob was dismissed and sent away, while Isabella was confined to the manor, her every move monitored. This harsh punishment left deep scars, teaching her the painful lesson that love was a dangerous and costly affair. The defining moment of Isabella's young life came with the sudden and tragic death of her younger brother, Edward. He was the only family member with whom she shared a genuine bond, and his loss devastated her. The official cause was an accident, but rumors and suspicions lingered, hinting at something more sinister. Isabella's grief was compounded by her parents' cold response. They buried their pain beneath a veneer of propriety, leaving Isabella to grapple with her sorrow alone. This loss hardened her further, reinforcing her belief that vulnerability led only to suffering. In the years that followed, Isabella transformed herself into a pillar of strength and poise. She pursued higher education, excelling in her studies and earning a degree in literature. Her love for books and stories became her refuge, a way to escape the harsh realities of her life. Despite her outward success, Isabella remained emotionally scarred. She navigated the world with a guarded heart, wary of forming deep connections. Her beauty and intelligence drew admirers, but she kept them at arm's length, afraid of repeating the mistakes of her past. Isabella's intelligence is one of her defining traits. She possesses a sharp mind, able to dissect complex issues and find solutions where others see none. This intellect is complemented by her resilience, the ability to endure and adapt in the face of adversity. Isabella's resilience was forged in the fires of her painful past. Each hardship she faced, from her first heartbreak to the loss of her brother, only strengthened her resolve. She is not easily swayed by emotions, preferring to approach life with a rational and measured perspective. Beneath her composed exterior, Isabella carries deep emotional scars. The pain of her past relationships and the unresolved grief over her brother's death have left her wary of forming new connections. She often finds herself torn between the desire for intimacy and the fear of being hurt again. Her emotional scars manifest in subtle ways. She is often guarded in her interactions, revealing little of her true feelings. Her smiles are polite, but seldom reach her eyes, and her laughter, though melodic, lacks genuine warmth. Those who get close to her can sense the walls she has built, but few have the patience or persistence to breach them. Isabella's independence is both a strength and a shield. She prides herself on her ability to stand on her own, to make decisions and pursue her goals without relying on others. This independence was cultivated from necessity, as she learned early on that she could not count on her family for support. Her independent nature often leads her to take on challenges alone, even when she could benefit from help. She is reluctant to show vulnerability, fearing it will be perceived as weakness. This can make her seem distant or aloof, but it is a protective measure born from years of emotional self-reliance. Despite her fears, Isabella yearns for love and connection. She longs for a partner who can understand and accept her for who she is, someone who can penetrate the walls she has built around her heart. This desire for love is a constant undercurrent in her life, influencing her actions and decisions. Her yearning for love is complicated by her past experiences. The memory of Jacob's departure and Edward's death loom large, casting shadows over her romantic aspirations. She is acutely aware of the risks involved in opening her heart, and this knowledge makes her hesitant to pursue relationships. Isabella's fear of being hurt again is the primary source of her inner conflict. She is torn between the desire for love and the instinct to protect herself from further pain. This fear manifests in various ways, from her reluctance to trust others to her tendency to overanalyze potential relationships. Her fear is not unfounded. She has experienced the devastation of lost love and the crushing weight of betrayal. These memories are ever present, shaping her interactions and influencing her choices. She often finds herself caught in a cycle of longing and apprehension, unsure how to break free. Isabella's unresolved past is a significant obstacle in her quest for happiness. The unanswered questions surrounding her brother's death and the lingering guilt over Jacob's fate haunt her. These unresolved issues keep her anchored to her past, preventing her from fully embracing the present. Her quest for answers becomes a driving force in her life. She seeks to uncover the truth about her brother's death, believing that closure will bring her the peace she craves. This journey for resolution is fraught with challenges, as it forces her to confront painful memories and face the shadows of Ravenwood Manor. Ravenwood Manor stands as a testament to the grandeur and decay of a bygone era. Nestled on the outskirts of a small, fog-covered town, the manor is a hauntingly beautiful relic that has long captured the imagination of locals and visitors alike. The town itself, known as Ashen Hollow, is a place where time seems to stand still, with cobblestone streets and Victorian-era architecture providing a glimpse into the past. The manor is situated at the end of a winding, overgrown path that cuts through the dense, mist-shrouded woods. As one approaches, the trees seem to close in, their twisted branches forming a natural archway that both welcomes and warns those who dare to venture further. The air grows colder, and the sound of the town fades away, replaced by the eerie silence of the forest. Ravenwood Manor is an imposing structure, its dark, weathered stone walls rising high against the sky. The facade is adorned with intricate carvings and ornate gargoyles that seem to watch over the property with malevolent eyes. The windows, many of which are cracked or broken, are framed by ivy-covered shutters that creak in the wind. The roof, once a masterpiece of Gothic architecture, is now missing several tiles, exposing the skeletal beams beneath. Tall, narrow chimneys reach upward like skeletal fingers, adding to the manor's sinister silhouette. A grand staircase, flanked by crumbling stone balustrades, leads to the massive wooden front doors, which are perpetually ajar, inviting the curious and the foolhardy to explore within. The grounds of Ravenwood Manor are equally neglected, with overgrown gardens and a cracked, weed-choked fountain that no longer flows. The remnants of a once beautiful rose garden can still be seen, but the flowers have long since withered, leaving only thorny vines and brittle stems. A wrought iron fence, rusted and bent in places, encircles the property, adding to the sense of confinement and decay. Stepping inside Ravenwood Manor is like crossing the threshold into another world, one where shadows reign and secrets lurk in every corner. The grand foyer, once a place of opulence and elegance, is now a dark, foreboding space. A massive crystal chandelier hangs precariously from the ceiling, its once sparkling crystals now coated in a thick layer of dust. The walls are adorned with faded tapestries and portraits of stern-faced ancestors, their eyes seeming to follow visitors as they move through the house. The wooden floors, though scuffed and splintered, still bear the marks of intricate craftsmanship. An ornate staircase, its banister worn smooth by years of use, spirals upward to the upper levels, where more mysteries await. The rooms of the manor are a labyrinth of hidden chambers and forgotten spaces, each with its own story to tell. The library, once a sanctuary of knowledge, is now a place of eerie silence. Shelves filled with ancient tomes and manuscripts line the walls, their spines cracked and pages yellowed with age. A grand fireplace dominates one wall, its hearth cold and empty, while a massive, dust-covered desk sits at the center of the room, papers and quills scattered across its surface. The dining hall, which once hosted lavish banquets and gatherings, is now a shadow of its former self. A long mahogany table stretches the length of the room, its surface marred by scratches and stains. Cobwebs hang from the chandelier overhead, and the air is thick with the scent of damp and decay. The once plush velvet curtains are now tattered and moth-eaten, barely clinging to the windows. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Ravenwood Manor is its network of hidden chambers and secret passageways. These concealed spaces are the stuff of legend, their existence whispered about in hushed tones by the townsfolk of Ashen Hollow. Some say that the original owner of the manor, Lord Alastair Ravenwood, was a man of many secrets, and that he constructed the hidden rooms to keep them safe. One such chamber is the hidden study, accessible only through a concealed door behind a bookcase in the library. The study is a small, dimly lit room filled with old maps, strange artifacts, and cryptic journals. The walls are lined with shelves containing bottles of mysterious potions and strange, otherworldly objects. A single flickering candle provides the only light, casting long, eerie shadows on the walls. Another secret room is the dungeon, located beneath the manor and accessible via a hidden trapdoor in the cellar. The dungeon is a dark, claustrophobic space with narrow, damp corridors and small, barred cells. The air is heavy with the scent of mildew and decay, and the walls are covered in strange markings and symbols. It is said that Lord Ravenwood used the dungeon to imprison those who crossed him, and that the restless spirits of his victims still haunt its halls. The Parn attic is yet another hidden space, accessible only by a narrow, creaking staircase hidden behind a panel in one of the bedrooms. The attic is a maze of old trunks, forgotten treasures, and mementos of a bygone era. The roof is slanted and low, and the floorboards creak ominously with every step. It is a place where time seems to stand still, and where the past lingers in every dusty corner. The atmosphere of Ravenwood Manor is one of pervasive unease and haunting beauty. The manor is a place where light struggles to penetrate the gloom, and where every shadow seems to conceal a hidden menace. The air is thick with the scent of old wood and damp stone, and the silence is broken only by the occasional creak of the floorboards or the distant whisper of the wind. The manor is a place of contrasts, where beauty and decay coexist in a delicate balance. The intricate carvings and ornate details of the architecture stand in stark contrast to the peeling paint and crumbling walls. The opulent furnishings, though now faded and worn, hint at a time of wealth and grandeur, while the overgrown gardens and neglected grounds speak of abandonment and neglect. The manor is also a place of mystery, where every room and hallway holds a secret waiting to be uncovered. The hidden chambers and secret passageways add to the sense of intrigue, inviting explorers to delve deeper into the manor's dark history. The portraits on the walls, with their eyes that seem to follow, and the strange artifacts scattered throughout the house, create an atmosphere of otherworldly presence. The history of Ravenwood Manor is as dark and tangled as the vines that cling to its walls. The manor was built in the late 1800s by Lord Alistair Ravenwood, a wealthy and influential figure known for his eccentricities and his mysterious dealings. It is said that Lord Ravenwood was a man of many secrets, and that he used the manor as a place to conduct his shadowy affairs. One of the most infamous tales associated with the manor is the curse of the Ravenwood family. According to legend, Lord Ravenwood was cursed by a vengeful witch whom he had wronged in his pursuit of power. The curse doomed the Ravenwood family to a life of tragedy and misfortune, and it is said that the spirits of those who suffered under the curse still haunt the manor to this day. Another dark chapter in the manor's history is the disappearance of Lady Evelyn Ravenwood, Lord Alistair's beloved wife. Lady Evelyn vanished without a trace one stormy night, and despite an extensive search, no sign of her was ever found. Some say that she was taken by the spirits that haunt the manor, while others believe that she met a more sinister fate at the hands of her husband. The mysterious fire of 1923 is yet another tragic event that left its mark on Ravenwood Manor. The fire, which broke out in the dead of night, destroyed a large portion of the manor and claimed the lives of several servants. The cause of the fire was never determined, but rumors of arson and foul play have persisted for decades, despite its dark history. Ravenwood Manor has a strange allure, drawing those who are curious or seeking answers. It is a place where the past and present collide, where the boundaries between the living and the dead blur, and where the secrets of the Ravenwood family lie waiting to be uncovered. The forbidden forest, an enigmatic expanse of dense woodland, stretches across the outskirts of Ashen Hollow, veiling the town in an aura of mystery and trepidation. The forest serves as a natural boundary, separating the town from the untamed wilderness that lies beyond. Its entrance, marked by an ancient, weathered stone archway, is shrouded in perpetual mist, creating an otherworldly gateway that beckons the curious and the brave. The forest's boundaries are irregular and seemingly ever-changing, with paths that twist and turn unpredictably, leading adventurers deeper into its shadowy heart. It is said that the forest is alive, its trees and foliage shifting to confound and mislead those who dare to venture within. Despite its foreboding reputation, the forest exerts an inexplicable pull on those seeking to uncover its secrets. The atmosphere of the forbidden forest is one of dark, foreboding beauty, where every shadow conceals a hidden danger, and every rustle of leaves could be the whisper of the unknown. The forest is a place of contrasts, where the natural and the supernatural intertwine to create a realm of eerie enchantment. The canopy of the forbidden forest is a dense tapestry of interwoven branches and leaves, allowing only slivers of sunlight to pierce through, casting dappled patterns of light and shadow on the forest floor. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, and a persistent, ghostly fog clings to the ground, never fully dissipating even under the midday sun. The forest is filled with an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional call of a distant bird or the rustle of unseen creatures moving through the underbrush. The trees, tall and ancient, stand like silent sentinels, their gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. Moss-covered trunks and twisted roots add to the sense of age and decay, hinting at the countless stories and secrets buried within. Despite its ominous atmosphere, the forbidden forest possesses a strange, haunting beauty. The interplay of light and shadow creates an ever-shifting landscape where ordinary elements take on an ethereal quality. Ferns and wildflowers, glowing with a luminescent sheen, carpet the forest floor, their vibrant colors standing out against the muted tones of the surroundings. The forest is also home to a variety of unique and mystical flora. Delicate, bioluminescent fungi cling to tree trunks and fallen logs, casting a soft, otherworldly glow in the darkness. Vines adorned with iridescent blossoms snake their way up the trees, their petals shimmering like jewels in the dim light. These enchanting elements lend the forest an almost magical allure, inviting those who enter to explore further. The forbidden forest is a place where secrets are buried, both literally and figuratively. Its depths conceal ancient ruins, forgotten relics, and hidden pathways, each with its own tale of mystery and intrigue. Scattered throughout the forest are the remnants of an ancient civilization, long forgotten by the outside world. Moss-covered stone pillars and crumbling archways stand as silent witnesses to a bygone era. These ruins, barely visible through the dense undergrowth, hint at a time when the forest was home to a thriving community, now lost to the sands of time. Among the most intriguing of these ruins is the Stone Circle, a ring of massive standing stones arranged in a precise, circular pattern. The purpose of the circle is unknown, but local legends speak of its use in ancient rituals and ceremonies. The stones are etched with cryptic symbols and runes, their meanings lost to antiquity. The forest is also a repository of forgotten relics, objects of power and significance hidden away from prying eyes. These relics, scattered throughout the forest, range from ancient artifacts to more recent treasures. Some are said to possess mystical properties, capable of bestowing great power or terrible curses on those who find them. One such relic is the Witch's Amulet, a mysterious pendant said to be imbued with dark magic. The amulet, hidden within a hollow tree deep in the forest, is believed to grant its wearer the ability to see and communicate with the spirits of the dead. However, it is also said to come with a heavy price, binding the wearer to the forest and its secrets. Navigating the forbidden forest is a challenge, as its hidden pathways and concealed trails seem to shift and change with each passing day. These paths, often overgrown and barely discernible, lead adventurers deeper into the heart of the forest, where the true mysteries lie. One of the most elusive pathways is the shadowed trail, a narrow winding path that is said to appear only under the light of a full moon. Those who follow the trail are said to be guided by the spirits of the forest, who reveal hidden secrets and lead them to places of great significance. However, the trail is also fraught with danger, as the spirits can be capricious and unpredictable. The forbidden forest is not merely a place of secrets and beauty. It is also a realm of danger, where unseen threats lurk in every shadow, and the line between the living and the dead is blurred. The forest is home to a variety of predatory creatures, both natural and supernatural. These creatures, rarely seen by human eyes, move through the forest with stealth and cunning, preying on those who venture too far from the beaten path. One such creature is the shadow wolf, a large, black-furred beast that is said to be able to blend seamlessly into the darkness. The shadow wolf is a formidable hunter, its glowing yellow eyes the only sign of its presence before it strikes. Local legends speak of the wolf as a guardian of the forest, protecting its secrets from those who seek to exploit them. The forbidden forest is also home to a host of malevolent spirits, restless souls who have been bound to the forest by their unresolved grievances and untimely deaths. These spirits, often seen as wisps of mist or flickering lights, are known to lead travelers astray, causing them to become hopelessly lost. One of the most feared spirits is the White Lady, a ghostly figure said to be the restless soul of Lady Evelyn Ravenwood. The White Lady is often seen wandering the forest, her ethereal form gliding silently through the trees. Those who encounter her are said to be overcome with a sense of profound sorrow and despair, and many who follow her are never seen again. Even the flora of the forbidden forest can be dangerous, with certain plants possessing potent and deadly properties. The nightshade bloom, a rare dark purple flower, is known for its toxic sap, which can cause paralysis and hallucinations if touched. The blood vine, a creeping plant with red thorny tendrils, is said to feed on the life force of those who come into contact with it, leaving them weakened and disoriented. The meeting, Isabella and Victor. The storm. The night the storm hit, it was as if the heavens had unleashed their full fury upon Ashen Hollow. Lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the town in eerie, flickering light, while thunder rolled through the streets like the growl of a monstrous beast. Rain fell in torrents, a relentless downpour that turned the cobblestone streets into rivers of mud and water. Isabella Sinclair, caught unprepared by the sudden onslaught of the storm, found herself drenched to the bone and shivering with cold. She had been on her way back from the town library, a place she often sought refuge in to escape the oppressive atmosphere of Ravenwood Manor. As the wind howled and the rain lashed at her, she realized she needed to find shelter quickly. Her thoughts turned to the only place she could think of, Ravenwood Manor. Despite its reputation for being haunted and its aura of decay, it was the closest refuge she could reach. With no other options, Isabella gathered her courage and began the arduous journey through the forest that separated the town from the manor. As Isabella approached the manor, she felt a strange mix of trepidation and familiarity. The sight of the towering structure, its dark silhouette outlined by the occasional flash of lightning, brought back memories of her childhood and the many hours she had spent exploring its rooms and hallways. Now, as an adult, the manor seemed even more foreboding and mysterious. She reached the grand staircase, the steps slick with rain and moss, and climbed to the front doors, which were partially ajar. Pushing them open, she stepped into the grand foyer, her footsteps echoing through the empty, cavernous space. The air inside was cool and musty, filled with the scent of old wood and damp stone. Isabella paused for a moment, her eyes adjusting to the dim light. The flickering glow of the lightning through the windows cast eerie shadows on the walls, and the silence was broken only by the distant rumble of thunder. She felt a shiver run down her spine, but she forced herself to move forward, determined to find a place to wait out the storm. As Isabella made her way deeper into the manor, she found herself drawn to the library. It was a place that had always given her comfort, a sanctuary filled with books and memories. She pushed open the heavy door and stepped inside, only to freeze in her tracks at the sight before her. Seated at the massive desk in the center of the room was a man. He was tall and broad-shouldered, with an air of brooding intensity that seemed to fill the space around him. His dark hair was tousled, and his piercing blue eyes, like shards of ice, locked onto her the moment she entered. He wore a tailored suit, slightly disheveled, as if he had been caught in the storm as well. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Isabella felt her heart race, a mixture of fear and inexplicable attraction flooding her senses. There was something about him, something dangerous and alluring, that drew her in despite her better judgment. "Who are you?" the man finally asked, his voice low and gravelly, like the rumble of distant thunder. Isabella hesitated for a moment before finding her voice. "I'm Isabella Sinclair," she said, her words steady despite the unease she felt. "I used to live here. I was caught in the storm and needed a place to stay." The man studied her for a moment, his gaze unwavering. "Victor Blackwood," he replied, his name carrying an air of mystery and power. "I'm a recent resident of Ravenwood Manor. I didn't expect to find anyone here." Isabella's curiosity piqued. "A recent resident? What brings you here?" Victor's expression darkened slightly. "It's a long story," he said, his tone suggesting that he wasn't ready to divulge the details. "But it seems we both sought refuge from the storm." Despite the tension in the air, Isabella felt a strange sense of connection with Victor. There was something in his eyes, a hint of vulnerability beneath the stoic exterior that resonated with her own guarded heart. She found herself wanting to know more about him, to understand the secrets he carried. As the storm continued to rage outside, Isabella and Victor settled into an uneasy truce. They shared the warmth of the library's fireplace, its flickering flames casting a soft glow over the room. The sound of the rain and wind outside seemed to fade into the background, replaced by the crackle of the fire and the quiet murmur of their conversation. Isabella learned that Victor had come to Ravenwood Manor seeking answers about his own past, though he remained vague about the specifics. He had heard rumors of the manor's dark history and believed that it held the key to understanding his own family's secrets. In return, Isabella shared glimpses of her own past, the tragic loss of her brother, and the emotional scars that had shaped her. Despite their initial wariness, the two of them found a surprising sense of comfort in each other's presence. There was an unspoken understanding between them, a recognition of shared pain and the desire for redemption. As the night wore on, the initial tension between them began to ease, replaced by a growing sense of companionship. As they talked, Isabella couldn't help but be drawn to Victor. There was an intensity about him, a magnetic pull that she couldn't resist. His voice, deep and resonant, seemed to wrap around her like a comforting embrace, and his piercing blue eyes held a depth of emotion that mirrored her own. Victor, too, found himself captivated by Isabella. Her intelligence and resilience shone through, and he was struck by the strength of her spirit. Despite the hardships she had endured, he admired her independence and determination, qualities that resonated with his own struggles. The attraction between them was palpable, an electric current that seemed to hum in the air. Yet they were both acutely aware of the unspoken barriers that lay between them. They were strangers with dark pasts, each carrying secrets that could either bring them closer or tear them apart. As the first light of dawn began to break through the storm clouds, Isabella and Victor knew that their brief respite was coming to an end. The storm had passed, but the journey they had embarked on together was only beginning. They stood in the foyer, the weight of their unspoken connection hanging heavy in the air. "Thank you for this shelter," Isabella said, her voice tinged with a mix of gratitude and reluctance. "I suppose I should be going." Victor nodded, his expression unreadable. "You're welcome. And if you ever need to return, Ravenwood Manor is always here." Isabella hesitated for a moment, her heart torn between the desire to stay and the fear of what might come next. "Maybe I'll take you up on that," she said softly, her eyes meeting his one last time before she turned to leave. As she walked away, Isabella couldn't shake the feeling that their paths were destined to cross again. There was something about Victor, something that called to her on a deeper level. And though she didn't yet understand it, she knew that their meeting had set in motion a chain of events that would change both of their lives forever. As weeks turned into months, Isabella and Victor's connection grew stronger. They found themselves spending more time together at Ravenwood Manor, each visit peeling back another layer of their guarded hearts. The initial wariness and tension between them had given way to a sense of trust and companionship. Yet, beneath the surface, both carried secrets that threatened to unravel their bond. Isabella was drawn to Victor's enigmatic presence, and she found herself confiding in him more than she had with anyone else. Victor, in turn, was captivated by Isabella's resilience and intelligence. Their conversations ranged from mundane topics to deep, introspective discussions about life, love, and loss. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the manor was bathed in the soft glow of candlelight, Isabella noticed Victor slipping into a hidden passageway she hadn't seen before. Curiosity piqued, she decided to follow him, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The passageway led to a concealed chamber beneath the manor, a place that seemed untouched by time. The air was thick with the scent of old parchment and dust, and the walls were lined with shelves filled with ancient books and scrolls. In the center of the room, illuminated by a single flickering candle, was a large wooden table covered in maps, documents, and strange artifacts. Victor was engrossed in his work, oblivious to Isabella's presence. She watched from the shadows as he pored over the documents, his expression intense and focused. It was clear that whatever he was researching was of great importance to him. As she stepped closer, Isabella's foot accidentally brushed against a loose floorboard, causing it to creak. Victor looked up sharply, his eyes narrowing as he saw her standing there. "Isebella," he said, his voice a mixture of surprise and concern. "What are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same thing," Isabella replied, trying to keep her voice steady. "What is this place?" Victor hesitated for a moment before sighing and gesturing for her to join him. "This is my family's legacy," he said quietly, "a legacy shrouded in darkness and secrets." Victor's dangerous secret. Victor explained that the Blackwood family had a long and complicated history, one filled with power, intrigue, and a touch of the supernatural. The documents and artifacts in the chamber were evidence of their involvement in arcane practices and ancient rituals. Victor had come to Ravenwood Manor seeking answers about his ancestors and the mysterious forces that seemed to bind them to the manor. "My family was cursed," Victor revealed, his voice tinged with bitterness. "A curse that has brought nothing but pain and suffering. I came here to find a way to break it, to free myself from its grip." Isabella listened intently, her heart aching for Victor as he spoke of his family's torment. She could see the weight of the burden he carried, the toll it had taken on him. Despite the danger and uncertainty, she felt an overwhelming urge to help him. "I want to help you, Victor," she said softly, placing a hand on his arm. "Whatever it takes. We'll find a way to break this curse together." Victor looked at her, his eyes filled with a mixture of gratitude and vulnerability. "Thank you, Isabella," he said, "but you must understand that this is not just about the curse. There are powerful forces at work here, forces that will stop at nothing to protect their secrets." Isabella's haunting past. As their bond grew stronger, Victor also learned more about Isabella's haunting past. During one of their late-night conversations in the library, Isabella opened up about the tragic loss of her younger brother, Edward. She described how his death had left a void in her heart, a void that no amount of time or distance could fill. "Edward was my anchor," Isabella said, her voice choked with emotion. "He was the only one who truly understood me, who saw beyond the facade I had to wear. Losing him, it broke something inside me." Victor listened with compassion, his own heart aching for the pain Isabella had endured. He could see the raw vulnerability in her eyes, the depth of her sorrow. It was a feeling he knew all too well, having lost loved ones to the same curse that plagued his family. Isabella also spoke of her first love, Jacob, and the heartbreak she had experienced when their relationship was discovered. She described the suffocating isolation she had felt, the fear of being hurt again that had caused her to build walls around her heart. "I've spent so long hiding from my past," Isabella admitted, "but being here with you, it feels like I'm finally facing it. And for the first time, I'm not doing it alone." Victor reached out and took her hand, his touch gentle and reassuring. "You don't have to face it alone," he said. "We'll face it together." Unraveling the mysteries. With their secrets laid bare, Isabella and Victor embarked on a journey to unravel the mysteries of Ravenwood Manor and the curse that bound the Blackwood family. They spent countless hours in the hidden chamber, poring over ancient texts and deciphering cryptic symbols. Their determination and shared purpose fueled their efforts, even as the dangers around them grew. They discovered that the curse had its roots in a long-forgotten pact made by one of Victor's ancestors, a pact that had granted the Blackwood family power in exchange for eternal servitude to a malevolent force. The rituals and artifacts in the chamber were remnants of that dark bargain, and breaking the curse would require a deep understanding of the arcane. As they delved deeper into their research, they encountered numerous challenges and obstacles. The malevolent force that had cursed the Blackwood family seemed to resist their efforts, creating mysterious occurrences and supernatural disturbances within the manor. Shadows moved on their own, whispered voices echoed through the halls, and strange symbols appeared in unexpected places. Despite the mounting dangers, Isabella and Victor remained steadfast in their resolve. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day, their shared struggles forging a connection that transcended their individual pain. They knew that their journey would be fraught with peril, but they also knew that they had each other to lean on. The turning point. Their quest to break the curse reached a turning point when they uncovered an ancient ritual that could sever the ties binding the Blackwood family to the malevolent force. The ritual was complex and dangerous, requiring rare ingredients and precise incantations. It also demanded a deep emotional and spiritual commitment from both of them. As they prepared for the ritual, Isabella and Victor faced their greatest test yet. They knew that failure could result in dire consequences, not just for them, but for everyone connected to Ravenwood Manor. But they also knew that their love and determination gave them a fighting chance. Together, they embarked on the final leg of their journey, ready to confront the darkness that had haunted their lives. The path ahead was uncertain, but they were no longer alone. Their bond, forged in the crucible of shared pain and unwavering resolve, would guide them through the trials that lay ahead. Despite the growing dangers and the many warnings they had received, Isabella and Victor found themselves irresistibly drawn to one another. Their connection was unlike anything they had ever experienced, a powerful and magnetic force that pulled them together even in the face of peril. Isabella had never felt such intensity of emotions before. Every moment she spent with Victor was charged with an electric energy, a combination of passion and fear that made her heart race. She was aware of the risks, the shadows that loomed over their relationship, but she could not deny the depth of her feelings for him. Victor, too, was caught in the same whirlwind of emotions. He had spent his life guarded and wary, but Isabella had broken through his defenses in a way no one else had. Her strength, intelligence, and compassion had touched him deeply, and he found himself yearning for a future that had once seemed impossible. As their relationship deepened, the dangers surrounding them intensified. The malevolent force that had cursed the Blackwood family seemed to sense their bond and reacted with increasing hostility. Strange and unsettling events began to occur with alarming frequency, as if the manor itself was trying to drive them apart. On one occasion, Isabella awoke in the middle of the night to find the air in her bedroom thick with an oppressive chill. The shadows on the walls seemed to writhe and twist, forming shapes that evoked a sense of dread. She heard faint whispers, voices that seemed to call her name, and she knew that whatever force haunted Ravenwood Manor was watching her closely. Victor experienced similar disturbances. One evening, as he worked late into the night in the hidden chamber, he felt a sudden, inexplicable presence behind him. Turning, he saw nothing but the empty room, yet the sensation of being watched was undeniable. It was clear that the malevolent force was growing more aggressive, and their love seemed to be the catalyst. Friends and acquaintances in Ashen Hollow, aware of the growing connection between Isebella and Victor, offered warnings and advice. Some urged them to leave the manor and escape its malevolent grip, while others cautioned against getting too close, fearing the consequences of their love. One such warning came from Mrs. Thornfield, an elderly woman who had lived in Ashen Hollow for decades. She approached Isebella one afternoon in the town square, her eyes filled with concern. "Child, I've seen what happens to those who tangle with the darkness of Ravenwood Manor," she said, her voice trembling. "Whatever you feel for that man, you must be cautious. The curse will not spare you." Isebella nodded, understanding the gravity of the warning, but her heart was resolute. She could not walk away from Victor, not after everything they had shared and the bond they had forged. She knew that their love was worth the risk, even if it meant facing the unknown. Victor, too, faced challenges from his own past. As they delved deeper into the mysteries of the curse, long-buried secrets about his family began to surface. He discovered that his ancestors had made dark pacts and committed unspeakable acts in their quest for power. These revelations weighed heavily on him, and he feared that the sins of his forebears would doom their love. As they navigated the complexities of their relationship, Isebella and Victor found themselves confronting their pasts in ways they had never anticipated. They shared their deepest fears and regrets, finding solace in the understanding and support they provided each other. Isebella spoke of her brother Edward, the loss that had shaped her life, and the guilt she carried for not being able to protect him. She revealed the emotional scars from her first love, Jacob, and the walls she had built around her heart to keep from being hurt again. Victor listened with compassion, his own heart aching for the pain Isebella had endured. He shared his own struggles, the burden of the curse that had haunted his family for generations, and the fear that he was doomed to repeat the mistakes of his ancestors. It revealed the moments of darkness in his own life, the times when he had come close to giving up hope. Through these shared experiences, they found a deeper understanding of each other. They realized that their love was not just a refuge from the darkness, but a source of strength that allowed them to face their fears and confront the challenges that lay ahead. The external forces that sought to keep them apart grew more formidable with each passing day. The malevolent presence in Ravenwood Manor seemed determined to destroy their bond, unleashing a series of increasingly violent and disturbing events. One night, as they sat together in the library, a sudden gust of wind blew through the room, extinguishing the candles and plunging them into darkness. The temperature dropped sharply, and they heard the sound of footsteps approaching, echoing ominously in the silence. Victor stood up, his eyes scanning the room for any sign of danger. "Stay close," he whispered to Isebella, his voice tense. As they moved cautiously through the manor, the oppressive presence seemed to follow them, a constant reminder of the malevolent force that sought to tear them apart. But despite the fear and uncertainty, they held on to each other, their love a beacon of light in the darkness. They knew that their journey would not be easy, and that the challenges they faced would test their resolve. But they also knew that their love was worth fighting for. Together, they would defy the forces that sought to destroy them, drawing strength from their bond and the unwavering belief that they could overcome anything as long as they were together. In the face of growing dangers and relentless warnings, Isebella and Victor's love became a force of its own. It was a love that defied the odds, transcending the darkness that surrounded them and shining brightly even in the most challenging of times. They found moments of joy and tenderness amidst the turmoil, small pockets of peace where they could be themselves and savor the beauty of their connection. These moments, though fleeting, were a reminder of what they were fighting for, a future where their love could flourish, free from the shadows of the past. Isebella and Victor knew that the path ahead would be fraught with peril, but they were determined to face it together. Their love had given them the courage to confront their fears, to challenge the malevolent forces that sought to keep them apart, and to believe in the possibility of a brighter future. With their hearts intertwined and their spirits united, they embarked on their journey, ready to navigate the challenges posed by their pasts and the external forces that threatened their love. Together, they would face the darkness, confident that their love would endure and triumph in the end. The tension at Ravenwood Manor had reached a boiling point. The malevolent presence that had haunted the Blackwood family for generations grew more aggressive with each passing day. Shadows moved with a life of their own, whispering voices echoed through the halls, and the oppressive atmosphere weighed heavily on both Isebella and Victor. They knew that a confrontation was inevitable, and it would demand everything they had. One stormy night, as thunder rumbled in the distance and lightning illuminated the darkened skies, the manor seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy. Isebella and Victor were in the hidden chamber, poring over the final preparations for the ritual that could potentially break the curse. The air was thick with tension and anticipation. Suddenly, the room was plunged into darkness as the candles flickered and died, extinguished by an unseen force. A chilling wind swept through the chamber, carrying with it an eerie, otherworldly wail. Isebella and Victor exchanged a glance, their eyes reflecting the gravity of the situation. "We're not alone," Victor whispered, his voice tense. Isebella nodded, her heart pounding. "It's time." Gathering their courage, they left the chamber and made their way through the manor's labyrinthine corridors. The once familiar rooms and hallways now seemed alien and menacing, shadows lurking at every corner. As they reached the grand foyer, they were met with a sight that sent a shiver down their spines. The air was filled with a swirling mist, and in the center of the foyer stood a figure cloaked in darkness. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and its presence exuded an aura of malevolence. This was the manifestation of the curse, the very force that had tormented the Blackwood family for generations. "Who dares to challenge me?" the figure intoned, its voice a chilling echo that seemed to reverberate through their very souls. Victor stepped forward, his jaw set with determination. "I am Victor Blackwood, and I will end this curse." Isebella stood beside him, her hand gripping his tightly. "And I am Isebella Sinclair. we stand together." The figure's eyes narrowed, and it let out a mocking laugh. "You think your love can save you? Your defiance is futile." True nature of their love. As they faced the malevolent force, Isabella and Victor were forced to confront their deepest fears and the true nature of their love. They had come to realize that their bond was not just a refuge from the darkness, but a source of strength and light that could challenge even the most formidable of foes. Isabella remembered the pain of her brother's death, the guilt she had carried for so long. She realized that her love for Victor had given her the courage to face her past and seek redemption. She had found a sense of purpose and hope that she had thought lost forever. Victor, too, confronted his fears. He had spent his life haunted by the sins of his ancestors, believing that he was destined to repeat their mistakes. But Isabella had shown him that he could break free from the cycle of darkness, that their love was a force powerful enough to overcome even the most ancient of curses. As they stood together, their love became a beacon of light that pierced through the malevolent darkness. It was a love that defied the odds, a love that had the power to heal and transform. The ritual with unwavering resolve, Isabella and Victor began the ritual that they had meticulously prepared. The air was thick with tension as they recited the incantations, their voices steady despite the chaos around them. The room seemed to vibrate with energy, and the malevolent force grew more agitated, its form flickering and shifting. They followed the ancient steps, drawing symbols on the floor and invoking the spirits of their ancestors. The air crackled with electricity, and a blinding light began to emanate from the symbols. The malevolent force let out a roar of fury, its form contorting in agony. As the ritual reached its climax, Isabella and Victor joined hands, their hearts and minds united in a single purpose. They knew that this moment would determine their fate, and they were ready to face it together. The life-altering decision, the culmination of the ritual, brought them to a crossroads, a life-altering decision that would shape their future. The malevolent force, weakened and desperate, offered them a choice: embrace their forbidden love and live free from the curse, or sacrifice their love for the greater good and ensure that the curse would never harm anyone again. The decision weighed heavily on their hearts. Embracing their love meant that they could finally be together, free from the shadows that had haunted them. But it also meant that the malevolent force would remain, potentially endangering others in the future. Sacrificing their love, on the other hand, would mean an end to the curse once and for all. It would be an act of selflessness, a choice to protect the future generations from the suffering they had endured. But it would also mean giving up the one thing that had brought them hope and light. Isabella and Victor exchanged a long, silent gaze, their eyes reflecting the depth of their feelings and the gravity of the decision before them. They knew that whatever choice they made, it would require immense strength and courage. With a heavy heart, Isabella spoke first. "Victor, our love has given me the strength to face my past and find hope. But I cannot bear the thought of others suffering as we have. We must end the curse." Victor nodded, his eyes filled with both sorrow and determination. "I agree. Our love is strong, but we cannot be selfish. We must do this for the greater good." As they made their final decision, the malevolent force let out a wail of defeat, its form dissipating into the air. The light from the symbols intensified, filling the room with a blinding brilliance. Isabella and Victor held each other tightly, their hearts breaking even as they knew they were doing the right thing. The ritual reached its conclusion, and with a final surge of energy, the curse was broken. The malevolent presence vanished, leaving behind a sense of peace and calm that had been absent for so long. As the light faded and the room returned to normal, Isabella and Victor stood together, their hearts heavy with the weight of their sacrifice. They had chosen to give up their love for the greater good, and though it was a painful decision, they knew it was the right one. In the days that followed, they worked to restore Ravenwood Manor, honoring the legacy of their ancestors, while ensuring that the darkness that had plagued them was truly gone. Their bond remained strong, even if their love had taken on a different form. Isabella and Victor had faced their fears, confronted the true nature of their love, and made a life-altering decision that would shape their future and the future of those who came after them. Their story was one of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring power of love. The aftermath. The ritual that broke the curse left Ravenwood Manor in a state of serene calm. The oppressive atmosphere had lifted, and for the first time in generations, the air felt light and free of malevolent energy. Isabella and Victor stood in the grand foyer, their hearts heavy with the weight of their recent experiences. The love they shared had been both their strength and their sacrifice. As they surveyed the manor, memories of their journey flooded their minds. Every room, every shadowed corridor held a piece of their story, a story of love, loss, and redemption. The once foreboding manor now felt like a place of healing, a testament to the power of their love and determination. Bittersweet farewell. The days that followed the ritual were filled with a bittersweet sense of closure. Isabella and Victor knew that their lives were forever changed by the events they had endured. They had faced their deepest fears, confronted the darkness within and around them, and emerged stronger for it. Yet, the decision to break the curse had come at a great personal cost. Their love, which had been a beacon of hope in the darkest of times, now faced an uncertain future. The bond they shared was as strong as ever, but the reality of their sacrifice loomed large. One evening, as they sat together in the library, the flickering fire casting a warm glow over the room, they spoke of their feelings and the road ahead. "Victor," Isabella began, her voice trembling slightly, "I can't help but feel both grateful and heartbroken. We've achieved something incredible, but it feels like we've lost a part of ourselves in the process." Victor took her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. "Isabella, our love has been tested in ways we could never have imagined. It's true that we've made sacrifices, but those sacrifices have brought us to a place of healing. I believe that, in time, we will find a way to move forward." Their journey had been one of redemption and sacrifice, and now they sought to find meaning in their experiences. For Isabella, the resolution of the curse allowed her to finally let go of the guilt and pain she had carried for so long. She visited her brother Edward's grave, a place she had avoided for years, and spoke to him with a heart full of love and forgiveness. "Edward," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion, "I've found a way to heal, to honor your memory by living my life to the fullest. I will carry you with me always, and I promise to cherish the love I've found." For Victor, the end of the curse brought a sense of liberation. He no longer felt the weight of his ancestors' sins bearing down on him. He had broken free from the cycle of darkness that had plagued his family and found a sense of peace in knowing that he had made the right choice for the greater good. As they moved forward, Isabella and Victor focused on rebuilding their lives and finding new purpose. The manor, once a symbol of pain and suffering, became a place of refuge and renewal. They worked together to restore its grandeur, transforming it into a sanctuary where they could continue their journey of healing and growth. Isabella returned to her passion for literature, establishing a small library within the manor where she could share her love of books with the community. The library became a place of learning and connection, a testament to the power of knowledge and the resilience of the human spirit. Victor, too, found a new path. He dedicated himself to helping others break free from their own cycles of darkness, using his experiences to guide and support those in need. He established a foundation in honor of his family, working to preserve their history while ensuring that their legacy would be one of redemption and hope. Despite the challenges they faced, Isabella and Victor's love ultimately triumphed over the darkness. Their bond, forged in the crucible of shared pain and unwavering resolve, grew stronger with each passing day. They found joy in the simple moments, the quiet evenings spent together, the laughter and the shared dreams. Their love was a testament to the power of connection and the ability to heal and grow even in the face of adversity. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they faced it with hope and determination, confident that they could overcome any challenge as long as they had each other. A poignant ending. The resolution of their story was bittersweet, a poignant reminder of the sacrifices they had made and the strength they had gained. Their love, while tested and challenged, had endured and flourished. They had faced the darkest of times and emerged with a deeper understanding of themselves and each other. As they stood together on the balcony of Ravenwood Manor, looking out over the mist-covered landscape, they knew that their love was a beacon of hope. They had triumphed over the darkness, not by avoiding it, but by confronting it head-on and finding the strength within themselves to rise above it. "Isabella," Victor said softly, his voice filled with emotion, "no matter what the future holds, I know that our love will guide us. We've faced the worst and come out stronger. I'm grateful for every moment we've shared." Isabella smiled, her eyes shining with tears of both joy and sorrow. "Victor, our love is a testament to the power of resilience and hope. Together, we've created something beautiful from the ashes of our past. I will always cherish and honor the love we share. Redemption and sacrifice." Isabella and Victor's journey was marked by their efforts to overcome their pasts and find redemption through their love. Their willingness to sacrifice for the greater good, and their determination to break free from the darkness that had bound them, highlighted the transformative power of selflessness and love. Power and control. Their story explored the constant struggle between desire and control, love and obsession. They faced the allure of forbidden love and the dangerous power it held, ultimately learning to navigate their emotions and find a balance between their passions and their responsibilities. Trust and betrayal. Trust was a fragile yet essential element of their relationship. The devastating effects of betrayal, both from their pasts and within their journey, tested their bond. Through their struggles, they learned the importance of trust, honesty, and communication, building a foundation that could withstand even the most challenging of trials. A legacy of love. Isabella and Victor's story became a legacy of love, redemption, and resilience. Their experiences and the choices they made served as a reminder that even in the face of darkness, the human spirit has the capacity to heal, grow, and find hope. Ravenwood Manor, once a symbol of pain and suffering, stood as a testament to their journey and their triumphs. It became a place of refuge and renewal, where others could come to find solace and inspiration. Isabella and Victor knew that their love had not only changed their own lives, but had the potential to inspire others to confront their own darkness and seek redemption. Their story was one of hope and resilience, a beacon of light that would shine through the generations. As they looked out over the mist-covered landscape, hand in hand, they knew that their journey was far from over, but they faced it with hope, determination, and the unwavering belief that their love would guide them through whatever challenges lay ahead. Their love had triumphed over the darkness, not by avoiding it, but by embracing it and finding the strength within themselves to rise above it. It was a love that had endured and flourished, a love that would continue to light their way as they walked into the future together. And that concludes our story of forbidden love, redemption, and resilience. If you enjoyed this dark romance and want to see more captivating tales, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to bring you more enchanting stories. Thank you for watching.